Hi, my name's Michael Gilmore, and I'm the writer of Whizbang's blog, and it's really great to have Jackson Elsgood from Escrow.com here. Jackson, how are you going?
Hi, Michael. Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very, very good. Oh, it's been a busy year so far this year, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. 2016 has been an enormous year for Escrow.com, a big year for the domaining industry, but especially at Escrow.com.
No, absolutely. I must admit, eventually you'll get some white hair like me here, 'cause you're working too hard, I think. There's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. And splitting time between our customers in the US, our customers in Asia, our customers in Australia, it's definitely a challenge.
Yeah, so how many offices are there now for Escrow.com?
There's four escrow offices at the moment. We've most recently opened up our office in San Francisco, which is at 180 Montgomery in the middle of the financial
So
district.
that's right downtown.
Really,
That's right downtown San
yes,
Francisco. Okay, next time in San
yeah, right
Francisco, I'll have to come and visit.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do. The office is beautiful. It's a great address, but really, it's just sort of reflecting that need to expand our operations as our transactions grow and the number of customers using us grow. We just recently bypassed the 1 million user mark, which was
Oh, wow.
a big one for us.
That's huge.
Yeah,
That's huge.
yeah.
So is the LA office sort of winding down now, or are you, because I know a lot of the people from LA came up to San Francisco, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely. Look, eventually it won't make sense to have two offices in the same time zone in California. So there's definitely staff moving around, but we want to give them some time to adjust to that. So look, we're moving the headquarters to San Francisco. It's a really great location and it's very close to a lot of our partners. So that's really going to help.
Yeah, so you're doing that long haul flight across the Pacific on a regular basis.
Yeah, I'm definitely racking up the frequent flyer points at the moment.
I know that flight
But
well, trust me.
definitely. And also around the US. I mean, we're not just based in California. We're licensed in quite a few states. So we have partners all over the US.
That's fantastic. Like, I must admit, though, it's been, since you guys have sort of stepped into the role, there's been a lot of change at Escrow.com, and people have been wondering about it and everything. And I think one of the great things you've been doing is improving customer service. And
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely something that is a challenge to keep up with at all times, especially when enjoying the kind of growth that Escrow.com's seen. It's always a sort of cat and mouse game, but so far the Escrow.com customer support team's grown over 300%, and that's just in a 6-month period. So it's been some really fast growth in that team. And we're delighted to see some really great results from that team starting to come through now.
is a lot of that driven by what's happening in China and things like that as well? Because I know you
Look, it's
can bring on
actually
some Chinese customer support as well, haven't you?
yeah, we launched Chinese customer support at the start of the year, and we've continued to add on phone multilingual support, so Spanish, French, Korean, Hindi. We've added quite a few languages. Actually, I sent out an email just recently to our user base saying, just so you know, if you do come into one of these transactions where you require a bit of help with an international transaction, where we are there to help you. The focus has actually just been with our existing customer base, being primarily in Europe and in the US. Although the Chinese market is definitely one that we focused on, I think we see a lot more chat volume and email volume coming from them, whereas on the phones we tend to get people from the US and the UK. And in reality, that US market is such a strong one for domains. We'll never not need significant support in the US time zones.
No, absolutely. It's why we make the journey to the US all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now you've had some
You just
recent announcements too, haven't you?
Yeah, look, we've hit some really good milestones. I already mentioned that 1 million user mark. We recently came up on the $3 billion mark, so $3 billion of transactions protected. And
Wow.
most recently, actually, just in the last 24 hours, we've announced the acquisition of an Australian-based escrow company called Escrow Angel with its white label brand Protecti.
Yeah. So that's a Melbourne-based company.
Yeah, absolutely. So
So
it's
that means I'll
actually
see you
on
here
your
down here a bit more, right?
yeah on your side of the fence. So yeah, look, Escrow Angel was really focused on services and automotive. There was definitely some domains in there, but not a huge amount. And really with our expansion internationally, it made sense to join up with Escrow Angel and bring their customer base in with ours.
Gee, that's a big thing. So you're not only on the development path and customer service and support and everything, you're now also acquiring more companies. Now, are you able to sleep, or is Matt driving you pretty hard?
Look, we've got a really great team here. I'd love to claim all the fame, but Matt's got a lot of experience in running successful businesses. Obviously, building Freelancer up to being $1 billion business is not an overnight job. I've personally been doing quite a few trips back and forth to the US, and it's great to know that there's a team in Vancouver, in San Francisco, there's a team in Sydney, all looking after the interests of our customers, and it means that I can sort of concentrate on some of the things that we're doing internationally without worrying about what's happening at home.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the last time we met was in The Hague at Dominion Europe. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. The Netherlands was great, and getting to talk to some of the people in Europe who have used escrow.com, who you don't get to run into at things like
Yeah.
NamesCon, just because of the geography, was really really great. And look, I'm sure that there'll be a bunch more of those kind of great opportunities to run into each other at the bar.
No, absolutely. I'm sure of that. And so what's happening in the future? Are you going to be are you going to get to some more of the conferences coming up, or in the domaining community,
Yeah,
really to embrace the domaining community and get to know them even more than you've already done? Like you've clocked up a lot of miles.
Yeah, definitely. Look, it's a balancing act for me because we do have, obviously some great relationships where we get to talk to people every day about their core business, about doing transactions, and about the day-to-day of running an escrow service, which is, it's always great to be able to talk to people about the business that they're doing. But these conferences allow an opportunity to talk about what they want to do in the future and how we can build escrow.com to suit the business that they're going to have in 12 months or 24 months rather than just the business that they've got today.
No, no, absolutely. I know myself, I'm heading across to the Domain Conference in Fort Lauderdale, then to Domain Fest in Hong Kong, then of course NamesCon. Eh, And I'm sure we're all looking forward to NamesCon, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. The Florida thing is something that I have not been in attendance for before, so I'm looking forward to that one.
So you're heading there?
And yeah,
Oh,
definitely, of course.
fantastic. Okay.
And of course, any of the Asian domain conferences are always a surprise. I mean, seeing the growth in the number of people attending
Oh,
those
yeah.
year on year is phenomenal.
No, absolutely. I must admit, I attended Domain Fest last year in Macau, and it was outstanding. I got so much business from it. And then this year, I think it's going to be even better. And one of the things I know is that whenever there is a sales transaction, then escrow gets into that mix, and like there's no greater sales from transactions at the moment than in China.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Look, it's very nice to be able to be on the floor there where those deals are being struck,
Yeah.
and to be able to settle them right there, then and there, which is, yeah, it's a great feeling to get that business done before you even leave the conference hall.
No, absolutely. I noticed last year. It's funny. I was just sitting next to this person, this really nice person over dinner one night, and I was just having a chat with her, and I asked what she did. She's about an elderly lady, not an elderly, but older lady anyway. And she said, "Oh, I manage a $4.5 billion investment fund," and I'm going, "You're kidding me, right?" That's a business card I'm going to keep. And that's what happens at these conferences, isn't it? It's amazing.
Absolutely, and not only at the dinner tables and in the conference halls, but even on the flight there, and you know, walking in and out of the hotel or whatever, you run into people, and they're people who you never thought that you'd get the chance to meet in person. Often they're people who we've done transactions with, and I sort of half recognize their name, and it isn't until I go and have a look at our database and I say, "Oh yeah, you did that transaction last year. Helped to close it," and that kind of stuff. It's a great institution.
I sometimes think that people should have on their name badges at conferences, not just their name, but their username at a forum or something like that. Then you go, "Oh, so that's who you are." That'd be so much easier.
I'm sure there's a few fairly embarrassing usernames that people would probably rather hide behind than put on their badge.
Oh, whiz-bang! Like seriously, there's a long story why, and it started with my childhood. Why I was end up being called whiz-bangs, whiz-bang. But let me tell you, it seems to me like escrow.com is going forward in leaps and bounds. Is there any sneak previews you can give, or that's under wraps still?
Look, there's definitely some big things in the works. We try and keep our cards pretty close to our chest.
Of course you
until
do.
a feature.
Well, you're a public company, aren't you? So you have to.
Yeah, we're bound by some of them. Some of it's just good sense to hold back the information. I can tell you definitely, having a look at internationalization and languages and currencies is something that we're really focused on at the moment. So, that should give you a sort of flavor as to where we're going. And of course, we always have our continued focus on security and making sure that transactions happen as quickly and as safely as possible. So nothing changes there, but opening up as many markets and making transactions as easy as possible is what we really focus on.
No, of course. And let me tell you, it's as always, it's great talking with you. Is there anything else you want to share at all, or?
Look, nothing at the moment, but I'm sure I'd love the opportunity to have a chat with you again in a few weeks and let you know about some of the new things we've got coming out.
No, absolutely. We need to make it a lot more regular, Jackson. I know you're one part of the world, and I'm another part of the world, but hey, we've got Skype and stuff, don't we?
Absolutely. And the domain industry never sleeps.
Absolutely, yeah. Anyway, it's been really good talking with you, and just thank you for your time, and let's connect again. Thanks a lot for that. See you later.
Bye for now.
Bye.